As people, we all go through difficult periods in our life, and we all face adversity at some point in our life. And sometimes, you know, we can't control it. And, well, what am I saying? Many times we can't control it, right? Life throws things, life throws things at you that, you just don't seem to expect, right? And that's completely normal, like there's no doubt about that. Um, I think that these things happen for a reason, though. I think that we all learn from them, we all progress from them, and we all grow individually from those things. And if you've been watching me, that message is kind of not new. I've kind of said similar things to that, but what I'm trying to say is, I feel as if we get caught up in our own uh, side of ourselves, our only negative side of ourselves, and this negative side, it can get very discouraging towards, you know, everything we see in our life, everything that we experience, everything that we um go through. We feel we want to see the happiness for once in our lives because maybe it's been a long time since we felt genuine, happiness. For me at least, it's been a while since I felt, genuinely happy. And that's not to say that, I'm always feeling down, but the majority of my time I feel like um, you know, I feel, dark. I feel like I'm in a dark, you know, state of mind. And that's not to say like, whenever I'm with my friends, I'm always like this, but because when I'm with my friends, I'd probably say that's where I'm enjoying myself the most. But, my definition of happiness is, to be able to feel like all will be okay. That, you know, my perspective on life is, divided between happiness and sadness, right? Um, because, at the same time, we have to see both sides. We have to see the negative, dark side, as well in order to see the happiness of things, right? And what I mean when I say this is that there's always something positive in a negative situation. Every single situation, if it's negative, like I believe that there's always something positive about it. Um, but it might not seem like that because your perspective is telling you otherwise. You have to allow yourself to really see the positive, and it might not be that clear right away, but eventually you'll see. Eventually you'll realize that not everything is for you to lose. Rather, everything is for you to gain. Um, you know, and I'm only just realizing that because lately especially, I think I've been very almost kind of like a biased person, if that makes sense, to myself. And I say that because I've been having a little bit of trouble with my relationship with my girlfriend. I've only been seeing and interpreting things in some situations to have the worst outcome or possibility. um that comes with a lot of overthinking, and I think just naturally I only see a negative interpretation of these situations, and I think that has to do with a lot of my depression. Because to explain to explain to you what it's like to have depression, um, to explain it in words, I'd probably say like depression means, you know, to only think of the worst and to only have this one perspective on things, and you feel like you're limited to thinking these specific thoughts only. Like it kind of isolates yourself from feeling, you know, different ways, if that makes sense. I feel as if it's hard to see the positive because I'm so conflicted with all these different types of emotions, and you know, there's times where I feel like I don't even know what's real, and that's what I've been feeling with my relationship. And this is not, I'm not saying this to shame my girlfriend by any means. Just that's just the way it is. Um, things she said to me, things that her family has said to me, specifically her sister, and I don't want to go too much into detail because it's kind of our privacy. But you know, I've I feel like I've made things a little bit more complicated than it needs to be, and I acknowledge that. Um, I've talked to my therapist about this whole thing, and he said, I think that has to, like I said, it has a lot to do, like, what I said has a lot to do with my depression. And he said the same thing. He said, I think that has a lot to do with your depression. The fact that you can only see the negative side in situations rather than, you know, also the happiness or, the positive. Not necessarily happiness, but, the positive. Um, after hearing what he said, and I really think that I I haven't been so considerate to myself, but mainly my girlfriend. I think it's affecting me and her. So I think that I have to be more considerate, not be so negative all the time, and I don't know. I feel like I just been carrying this negative spirit with me, and I feel, I feel very like bad. I don't feel like I really realized in the moment what I was doing, but now that I've come to my senses, I think that, you know, I am kind of in the wrong. I think I'm just jumping to conclusions too fast, and I need to slow down and really think about it. Because uh, I deal with severe overthinking, and it tends to take me away from reality. And I've talked about in previous videos that I talked about in a previous video, not plural, talking about perspective in life. That the negative things in your life, they're not, you know, the negative things in your life that you know, that you think about, whether that be towards yourself, whether that be towards the world, those things they're not always what it seems. And you know, I think that I'm really now understanding that for the better. Like I was talking about that in the other video, but I don't think I really understood those words that were coming out of my mouth then as much as I do now. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I think that like I've said in other videos, the things that I say, the things that I the things that I communicate with you guys, I'm also trying to learn as well. After every video, I try to go back to some key moments that I feel, you know, I should think about more, to look more into. It's like a learning experience for all of us, like I've said before. So, you know, but that's just an example of self-reflection, the fact that you can recognize these things. And I feel that everyone should have that, the ability to recognize that maybe you aren't being fair to yourself or others, that you're not being the true person that you can be, and then that that you are, or that you aren't happy with life at the moment, and that's completely fine. All of that is just part of the growing opportunity, you know, the growing opportunity to, like I said, recognize, you might be, um, complicating things too much. You might be overthinking. You might be caught up in your mind, way too much, and that's completely normal. But I just wanted to read to you guys a Bible verse because you know, this is probably my favorite Bible verse, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. Um so the Bible verse is, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. And that's Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. So, you know, basically what that means to me, and, you know, in a different explanation would be, you know that your God is with you, and that applies to all religions. You know, I'm a Christian believer. I'm a, you know, Jesus Christ believer. But, you know, whatever religion that you follow, whatever religion you are, whether that be Islam or Buddhist or I don't know. You know, my point is, whatever religion you are, know that your God is with you. Know that you have to keep going. You know, be strong and courageous despite the trials and tribulations that you may face in your life. You know, acknowledge that the Lord provides you strength. He has the wisdom and the power to, you know, give you the guidance, give you the tips for you to succeed in life. You know, I believe that when you pray for better, when you pray for, you know, a certain thing, you know, God is not gonna, you know, give you exactly what you want in that moment, but he'll guide you towards, you know, the steps to getting there, if that makes sense. God can't, you know, physically drop $1 billion in your lap in cash. Like, you know, you have to work your way up to that. So just acknowledge God, your God, whoever you believe in, for their power, their spirit, and their glory. And, you know, always trust in God. Always trust in the progress. You know, and don't get discouraged by it. But anyways, that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you for watching if you stayed for this long. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, I love you guys. Peace.